Hello class, my name is Megan Parmer and my service learning project was completed at Align Pregnancy Services, or formerly known as Susquehanna Valley Pregnancy Services. Align Pregnancy Services is a nonprofit Christian organization located in Lancaster, Lebanon, Ephrata, and Columbia. Since Jesus' love and payment was free for everyone, all the services are free as well. At Align, they offer pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, client education sessions, parenting support, and post-abortion counseling. Since it is a Christian-based organization, prayer is given after each session, a biblical worldview is provided, and everyone uses confidentiality, diminishing all societal stigmas and judgments. At Align, volunteers, client advocates, nurses, and sonographers work alongside of each other to promote various options for the mother and baby, before and after birth. This ministry advocates for soon-to-be mothers and families through their support, aid in supplies, and referrals to resources such as shelters, housing, and WIC. Every woman is welcome to share their story and use all of the free resources to maintain a healthy pregnancy, get accurate information, and learn more about motherhood. I chose this agency to do my volunteer hours at because I wanted to learn more about a population that I had little knowledge in. In the Lancaster area, there are great organizations that advocate and educate women, men, and families. I heard about this specific organization at my previous church, and I knew I was interested in learning what they do for the maternal population. The population that Align impacts are pregnant mothers and young teenagers, fathers, and families. Because fathers are a part of the process, they are included in prenatal education, available parenting classes, and supplies as the baby's due date approaches. As I reflect on my volunteer hours, pregnant teens were the majority of the population. The needs of this population are one's lack of knowledge and the needed education, lack of resources, financial barriers, emotional support, and the lack of health care. The healthcare professional plays a role in addressing the social, political, economic, and cultural issues of this population. First, the professional addresses the social issue of poverty and unattended pregnancy through coordinating emotional support and being honest through admission questionnaires. Many pregnant teenagers have no social support or help during this time, causing them to be confused, alone, and financially struggling. Second, due to many women not having a high school or college degree, educational opportunities are endless. Align offers parenting classes, prenatal education sessions, and breastfeeding courses to increase one's knowledge. By asking them their views of their social issues, healthcare professionals foster a relationship, provide diverse education videos each week, and actively listen to the client's problems, trying to connect them to available resources. Unintended pregnancy, lack of education, and poverty are three social issues that arise, and Align educates women, allows them to choose what they want, and helps them financially, decreasing their impoverished state. Second, the healthcare professional addresses the economic issue of poverty and the lack of resources through providing a baby boutique and the needed supplies free of cost. In the midst of COVID-19, 2 packs of diapers and wipes were given to every family to help with this economic disparity. Since this population is mainly young people with low economic statuses, no degrees, or no job, families need wipes, diapers, cribs, clothes, and formula. Align gives baby bucks after each client education session that can be spent in the boutique. The boutique is stocked from donated items from local churches or community members. Healthcare professionals at Align did a great job with the economic issues of this past year. I got to witness many women receiving cribs, fully stocked diaper bags, strollers, and food, all free. Third, the healthcare professional addresses the political issue of abortion through correctly educating women. This political issue is a state, national, and worldwide preventable pandemic. This education entails information about abortions, lays out the various multitude of options such as adoption and foster care, and shares with them some emotional consequences post-abortion. The healthcare professional at Align is different from Planned Parenthood professionals because they do not sway or push a woman to have an abortion. Align prays for women, shares testimonies of other mothers, and tells the truth that abortions kill babies. Align believes that a baby is a human at the day of conception. In the end, Align educates and provides safer options, but the woman still has the final decision. And lastly, the healthcare professional addresses cultural issues by first efficiently training volunteers and workers about cultural competence, and second, by screening women to identify if she has a specific culture that affects her choices and her birth. Culture can impact one's nutrition, exercise, birth plan, and views on breastfeeding and circumcision. It is crucial, inside and out of a hospital, to understand what clients believe in order to holistically include and educate in her plan. This project was very easy to design because the director of Align was familiar with volunteers. I found the closest Align to my apartment, called and emailed the director, and waited for a response. Since many Lancaster Bible College students were usually volunteering, the director emailed me and was ecstatic for me to begin. I emailed my objectives and we discussed and made adjustments. After she agreed to let me complete my 30 hours of volunteering, she asked me to come to the Columbia office. I made this project happen through good communication, my pursuit in wanting to learn about pregnancy, and being flexible with my hours. During my service learning project, I got to witness one ultrasound, be a part of 13 client educational sessions with various clients, learn about prenatal care, breastfeeding, birth plans, pain options, parental skills, and ways to play with infants. I performed a pregnancy admission test and completed Nagel's rule to determine her due date. I educated on community resources such as available jobs, WIC, housing opportunities, and free daycares. I asked the mother questions. I built rapport with the same clients. I used therapeutic communication. I got to provide assistance in the baby boutique, and I helped stock supplies in the office. Once my hours are complete, revisions might be helpful for a future service. First, because of COVID-19 happening, hours and medical tests were limited. It would be best for an individual to wait until Align fully opens up to begin volunteering. They closed last spring due to the rise in COVID-19 cases and then again this spring of 2021. Waiting until COVID-19 numbers drop and having a flexible attitude would greatly help this process. Second, due to Align's changing hours and open availability, certain days are for ultrasounds and pregnancy tests. I did not know this piece of information prior to picking my day of service, but it is very helpful as future projects begin. I think in the future, rotating days would be helpful for the student to participate in a better variety of duties, skills, and medical observations. Since I only went in on Tuesday afternoons, it was nice to build rapport and see the same clients. However, branching out to other days would unfold more skills and interactions with various nurses and clients. My learning objectives are: I will participate in client advocate sessions and see 4 ultrasounds in the next 2 months. I will learn 2 therapeutic ways to talk to struggling mothers while listening to their thoughts and fears. I will learn why ultrasounds are so important for mothers to see before making any decisions, and I will evaluate data and research from my time at Align to prove why people choose abortions, adoptions, or birth. I met objective number 1 through attaining and attending 13 client educational sessions and participated in 1 ultrasound. Due to the educational sessions, I got to listen, ask questions, and help teach topics such as breastfeeding, identifying baby's hunger cry, the importance of birth plans, and many more. Due to COVID-19 challenges, ultrasounds were not being carried out as regularly, so I only got to witness 1. During my first week volunteering, a young teenager couple came in and I got to watch the sonographer educate and show the length, the heartbeat, and the baby's body parts. It was so humbling to see a young couple excited for their baby. I met objective number 2 and got to carry out therapeutic communication every shift. Listening and communicating are priority skills in education sessions because it is all about the client and their needs. 3 therapeutic techniques that I got to learn were active listening, restating, and using open-ended questions. First, active listening was done at the beginning and the end of each session. Every client would update us about their week, and at the end, questions were asked about the educational material. Second, restating was a helpful option as mothers were emotionally explaining their fears and concerns. An example of this technique would be, reflecting back to all that you have said, you are very worried about your boyfriend's job since you need money. Restating allows you to share your interest and bring light to some of the fears that they have expressed for further evaluation. And lastly, open-ended questions get each client to answer, even if they are shy. I met objective 3 through researching articles and discussing with a sonographer the importance of ultrasounds. CareNet 2014 explains that ultrasounds can and cannot change women's minds. After interviewing over 15,000 pregnant women, 85% still chose to abort their baby. However, 4.8% changed their mind about abortion and kept their baby. Not only did this study show that ultrasounds can contribute to a mother's decision, but her maternal age played an important factor. CareNet states women at 17 to 20 weeks gestation were nearly 20 times as likely to carry compared to those less than 9 weeks. In conclusion, the study stated that first, women should always be offered the opportunity to see their ultrasound prior to having an abortion. And second, sonographers should be compassionate as each mother will respond differently to the ultrasound. I met objective number 4 through researching peer-reviewed articles and discussing with the director the reasons why mothers choose abortion, or carrying the baby, or adoption. The reasons can vary depending on a client, but many reasons are similar. Feiner et al. States in their article that the reasons women choose abortion are: first, they are in school and have a good job; second, could not afford a baby right now; third, they have relationship issues; fourth, there's fears of single motherhood; fifth, they already have a child and cannot have another responsibility; and lastly, because of the mother's health. Feiner et al. Goes on to explain that 1,160 women gave one reason, compared to 89% giving 2 and 72% giving 3 reasons to why they chose an abortion. After reflecting on my time at Align, women either chose abortion or keeping their baby. One major resource that I love at Align is their post-abortion counseling. No matter what decision a mother makes, she is welcome back just like Jesus does for us. God is using Align Ministries to fight for the lives of the unborn, and it was phenomenal to learn the reasons behind abortion in order to educate and provide other options. This learning project impacted the pregnant population through my interactions with them as I utilized many organizational skills in the baby boutique, as I got to communicate and participate in client educational sessions, and as I got to actively listen to couples over Zoom. Reflecting back, I impacted many expectant teens' lives by listening and encouraging their hard work for their future families. I impacted their lack of finances through giving out material supplies that they desperately needed. I impacted their lack of family support by praying with them, being consistently there every week to hear their concerns, and provide a caring, not judgmental atmosphere. And lastly, I impacted this pregnancy population through decreasing their lack of resources. Every time a client would come in, community resources would be assessed. Align would even drop off items if a client had no transportation, and pamphlets were given to educate all the postpartum agencies that could help soon-to-be mothers. Service Learning Project has impacted me personally because those women could have been me. One day, as I was listening to the verbal abuse that this one client had gone through, I realized that I could have been born into a different socioeconomic group, family, or religion, impacting my life decisions. And in that moment, I was so grateful for what God had given me. One decision, a bad relationship, no home to go to, or unprotected sex could have led me to the same seat that each mother was sitting in. This perspective personally impacted me because I could no longer judge a young woman's decision when I put myself in their shoes. I learned to meet people where they are at. If they are broken, listen. If they are back and forth from making a hard decision, educate and pray for them. And if they are in need of supplies, bless their lives. When I think of my time at Align, God opened my eyes to people's hearts and not just their circumstances. As a future nurse-to-be, my learning service project has impacted me professionally because nurses need to be immersed in the community. As advocates of health and quality of care, what better way than to care for one's own community and impact their knowledge on prenatal and postpartum care? As Mutine et al. States, community nurses are a guarantee of direct increase of the individual and community well-being, directly through educational design care to maintain health, as well as providing the necessary care for reestablishing it, indirectly promoting respect towards human dignity. This last 30 hours has challenged me to think bigger than just my future hospital job, but what are my passions and what organizations can I further my nursing knowledge in while helping others? In conclusion, my volunteer hours have helped shape my view on community nursing. In the end, I got to touch on all 5 of the barriers to the pregnancy population and has opened my eyes to all the supplies, support, and encouragement that is available for impoverished, pregnant teens and mothers in Pennsylvania. One major lesson I learned is to meet every client where they are at, advocating and educating them to increase their independence. How can I put myself in teen mothers' shoes to understand the stress and barriers that affect their care? Here are my resources, and thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.